Good evening and welcome to High School Girls Volleyball on Aycorp Sports. Tonight we're coming to you from the Bearcat Event Center with its beautiful new court that's brand new this year here at the Bearcat Event Center in Dexter, where the Bearcats will be taking on, they come in with a record of 8-2-1, and they welcome their rivals from just down Highway 25, the Bernie Mules, coming in with a record of 5-4-3. Alongside my broadcast partner for the evening, Coach Gentry Vansel, I'm Philip Britt, and we're ready to bring you all the action.
Yes, Philip, and I'm, as always, great to be here. This is my favorite job. It is always exciting to be at a rivalry game, and this is the third one on Aycorp Sports in the last 2 weeks. We were at Clarkton, where Clarkton broke a 2-decade-long record, regular season record, losing streak to the rival Gideons with a straight set wins. That was three-set win.
Yep.
Here we have the Dexter and Bernie, close neighbors and rivals for sure. Whenever these two teams get together, you don't worry about the records. You don't worry about classifications. It's just going to be a really good competitive game.
You know, and we saw the junior varsity match just ended, and it went 3 sets, 2 out of 3, because JV plays 2 out of 3. And Bernie pulled out the win. But all 3 sets were very, very tight all the way through, but Bernie was able to pull out the win. And several of those girls that played in that junior varsity match are on the varsity roster as well. So we'll see if Bernie those girls get to play tonight.
I think it's just another good indication for the future.
Absolutely.
That every year, Bernie, even though his classification is a Class 1, and Dexter is Class 3, it's still going to be some very good competitive volleyball for this area.
So both teams are coming off big tournament in Cape last weekend. Most every school in Southeast Missouri was there for the Dig for Life tournament. Really good tournament, several different divisions, and so schools that they don't normally get to play, schools will get to play. So Bernie went in and they play pool play, so they play 2 sets, and they split with a lot of teams. They split with Leopold, they split with Hillsboro, they split with Bunker. They won against Ellington 2-0, and then once they got out of pool play, they lost to Bismarck 2-1. But it looks like they were very competitive throughout that tournament. Then they came off of that tournament and then have 2 losses this week. Unfortunately for them, they lost at Cape Central, which is a really, really good Cape Central team. We had them on Tuesday night against Jackson, and they're a solid squad. And then lost to Scott City 3-1 on Tuesday night. Dexter, on the other hand, had a really good Dig for Life tournament. They defeated Seckman, they defeated Thayer. They split with Saxony Lutheran, who they had defeated earlier in the season here at home. Then they defeated St. Vincent once they got past pool play, and then lost to Valley Catholic. But Valley Catholic showed a lot in that tournament, and they lost 2-1 against Valley Catholic. So they then came off and pulled a straight set win against Kennett earlier this week. So Dexter has really shown a lot so far. They beat Cape Central 3-0. That was here at home as well. So they've really shown a lot. The only game full match that they've lost was to Jackson, and of course, you know, most everybody in Southeast Missouri loses to Jackson. So they've shown us a lot. So it'll be interesting to see how this game plays out. Again, as you mentioned, the records kind of go out the window, and the Bernie team is always motivated to play against Dexter. Dexter's the bigger town, the bigger school, and so they're always motivated to play against their neighboring rivals. So we're going to jump into our starting lineups. It looks like the clock's wound down.
No national anthem. We did it in the B-team game, and I want to make a comment. That was one of the best national anthems. I love coming to Dexter. They always have their choir. They had 6 young ladies, and number 11, I don't know if she was on the JV or varsity team. She was over there singing the national anthem, and it was exceptional.
Yep, it was beautiful. So the starting lineup for the Bernie Mules to start with. Number 5, that's Bailey Henry. She's a senior. Number 23 is Alexa Dillinger. She's a junior. Number 14, Carrie Botch, is also a senior. Number 21, Mackenzie Meesey. She's a junior. Number 26, Kaylee Powell is a senior. Number 16, Kaylee Mason. She's a defensive specialist, and then the libero is number 22, Riley Powell. So for Dexter, we've got number 14, Kaylee White. Number 10, Karis Kennedy. Number 5, Mariana Minley. Number 9, Claire Essner. Number 6, Kate Nichols. Number 12, Elizabeth Boland. And then our libero, Avery Riley. So several of these girls, we had a couple of Dexter games last year, and they were a really pretty solid team last year, but they were young, and those girls have matured. I remember Mariana Minley played really well up here last year in a game that Coach Beidler and I did. She was just a freshman, and she really impressed me with her skills last year. So we'll see what another year of maturity does for these young ladies. They're led by Kate Nichols, their senior. I mean, she's all around just a solid athlete. She's a great basketball player as well, and so we'll look to see a lot from her. And Karis Kennedy, I know she and Claire Essner both play club ball, and so I think they'll be solid. They're both juniors, obviously be back next year, but they're solid players as well. They played a lot last year as sophomores.
What I see a lot of here is I see their volleyball IQ, and we talk about that a lot, just being the smarter player. And to me, if I look out here, Dexter has the height advantage right now.
Right.
But that necessarily doesn't mean they're going to win, as always. But the volleyball IQs, and that also comes with a lot of that club playing and seeing different levels.
So we'll see. It looks like Dexter's going to start off. They get the first serve. Kelly White with the serve. Picked up nicely by Bernie. Set back to Bailey Henry. Picked up nicely by Dexter. Good block that time. Dillinger and Carrie Botch in the front row. Nice dive there by Bailey Henry to pick that ball up. Free ball back over, but in a good place. Tough receive for Dexter. There's Henry again. This time off hands and out of bounds. Nice solid hit from the outside.
So right now, Dexter actually had one good attempt and one good kill. They gave Bernie too many free balls, too many tips, and Bernie was reading that very well right now.
So Alexa Dillinger, back to serve. Short little hit there, picked up nicely. There's Henry again, and this one's off hands, out of bounds, this time on the side. So another point for the Bernie Mules. So Bernie gets out ahead 2-0 to start this first set off. Dillinger back to serve again, and off the top of the net and over. Not sure that's what she meant to do, but it sure did work.
It works.
In tennis, they'll say, I'm sorry about that, not on the serve because it doesn't count on the serve, but any other time they'll apologize for it hitting the net, but not in volleyball. They're like, yes, I got it. And there's another ace. So Dillinger's on a little roll here. That's 4-0. Somebody needs to get the ball. It's rolling back through the court. There we go.
I like her demeanor on the floor, number 23. I love how she really carries this team. I think she really is a leader for them.
Good pickup there. And in. That was a nice hit that time. That was Minley that time with the hit.
Yeah. Dexter has seen harder hitting, I'm sure, when they have played Cape Central and stuff. It's just putting that ball in that back 10% of that court.
And they've got to get that block up and on them. I mean, you may not be the hardest hitter, but if there's not a solid block up on you, you can pretty much take your pick where you want to hit it. Nice save there by Henry. That was
the middle. Number 5.
That was Minley, right. So Kennedy's back. Karis Kennedy back to serve. Tough receive there. Henry with a setback, free ball back over. Set to the outside. There's Nichols.
There she is. That was an awesome hit. Straight down
right down
line.
the line, and nobody there to defend that.
Bernie will have to take that away from her, or she will do that all night long.
Absolutely. Kennedy back to serve again. Picked up. Not a great pass, so out a little bit out of system there. So free ball back over. That was Claire Essner coming from the right side that time and hitting it off hands and out of bounds. Way to use the block that time. Kennedy back to serve. Nice dig that time by the libero. It was Macy Botch with a hit that time. She's left-handed on that outside. Tipped and out of bounds. So Dexter now has come from 5-0 to 5-4 with Kennedy serving. A little lack of communication there. The receive was not bad. It just was to the wrong side, and the setter was in the middle.
She just didn't yell fast enough.
Nope. Because the hitter was backed up, ready to hit, and outside to Henry, this time off the net and the end of the net and down. So the Bearcats now have the lead, 6-5.
Is this a three-point run right now we're going on?
Well, it was
3 or
5.
4?
It was 5-0.
5-0. Oh, was it 5? Okay.
So she served 5 in a row, I think. Nice tip that time. Tried to change things up a little bit. Set outside to Henry again. Good coverage that time by Kaylee White in the back row for Dexter. She covered that block really well.
So Bernie right now needs a kill. They need a hit. They need someone to put the ball away and quit sending free balls over to Dexter right now.
Dexter's definitely taking advantage of it. You can't give free balls to a team, or tips. Lots of tips too. They're not.
There it is.
There's one back to them. Let's see if they get this ball, hit this ball. There you go. Good pickup that time by Riley, the libero, with a good hit. I think that was Nichols again with a hit from the outside. Kennedy's back to serve again, and now it's 8-5. Good defense. Oh, Kennedy lost that one. That just slipped right through her hands for a double contact.
And they had to call that one now.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that just went right through her hands.
We've seen this year a lot of things go, but that one was a definite.
Just went right through her hands. So that was Riley Powell with the serve for Bernie. There's Minley again with a hit from the right side that time. Now she's back to serve for the Dexter Bearcats. So serve picked up by Powell. It was Henry that time with the tip, but she found the right spot with her tip.
Bernie played very smart that time.
So Henry back to serve again. Bailey Henry served that one long. That ball had a lot of movement on it, but it just sailed along on her. So she comes out.
For those of you who've never played in this court, it is very deceiving because it's not typically set up like any other gym you play in. It's a beautiful gym. It's a wonderful volleyball gym. And serves seem to go long.
Yep. And that's 3. No, you can't hit it again. So that's
4.
A point for Dexter Bearcats. 11-7 now.
Way to dig it out of the net.
Yep.
Way to keep playing
Played it off the net. Very nice. Nice tip that time by Nichols. And finding the back corner is Elizabeth Boland. What a nice placement with that ball. Timeout, Bernie. So we're going to take a timeout with them. We'll be back in 30 seconds. Welcome back to the Dexter Bearcat Event Center, where let's reset things a little bit. Dexter is leading 12-7 over the Bernie Mules. Dexter's really dominated. Bernie jumped out to a quick lead, but Dexter's really taken and pushed it out since then. So that's Claire Essner with the serve for Dexter. Set to Nichols. Blocked nicely that time by Bernie. There's a good
rally. Just barely out.
Just barely out. We're right on the line too, so it must have been a little long.
I know that the other night when Dexter played Kennett, Kennett came out that second set with an 8 or 9 point lead, and Dexter showed this here, and they've just fought back. I mean, it's been fun.
Well, the thing is, for them, then they know how to come back. It's not like they give up when they get behind. So there's Nichols again, pounded that one off the block and couldn't be. I mean, they were there to cover it, but they just couldn't get to it for Bernie. So Essner back to serve again. Somebody was in the net, and looks like it was Dexter was in the net that time. Maybe number 12, Elizabeth Boland. And that she saved Bernie on that one, because that ball was passed way too close to the net for them to do anything with it. So 21 Mackenzie Macy's in to serve for Bernie. Up to the middle, Elizabeth Bowen with a hit, picked up nicely. Nice smart play by the setter that time, Callie White. She just saw that empty spot and found where she wanted to put it.
She disguised it so well. I even thought she was going to set it, and then we saw that little hand go back.
Yep. Popped it with her left hand right into that spot. That was Nichols with the serve. Off the hands and out of bounds on the receive. So Bailey Henry's back in the back row, taking Tatum Anthony's spot. Nichols back to serve again. There's Blair Pleimling that time with the receive, and that she's got a lot of movement on that serve. That ball.
It doesn't look like it from up here, but I think it moves once it gets over. It drops.
It sure seemed to, because she was right on it, and then it went off her hands and out of bounds. And I think it happened again, because it was clear that Henry thought it was coming in one place, and it dodged left on her. So. Well, there's Bernie's going to take their second timeout. We'll stay here this time. Coach knows she's down 10. She's going to have to do something. What do you tell your girls in a timeout like this, Coach, when you're down by 10, 18-8?
So let's don't look at the score. Let's just start going back point by point. And right now, Bernie's service receive is really, really hurting them right now. And Coach right now is showing arms, quit swinging, and that type of thing. Just basic that back to volleyball. Breathe a little bit, come back and let's get going with this. Right now you can hear this music going. The Dexter fans are over there standing up. The student section, which can always give people some fits, which I love to see.
Absolutely.
It's pure volleyball. I love it. So just fight back the same way Dexter did.
Right. So Bernie's used their second timeout, so they don't have any more timeouts. So they've got to play through the end of this set. Good, we'll give that point to the coach. She got them fired up and got them at least refocused Kaylee Powell with the hit, and now back to serve.
If Bernie's going to win this game, they have got to pass set hit more. They have
Right.
got to hit. That no more tipping.
And double contact on Misi that time. Out of system, a lot of times that happens when you've got somebody that's not used to setting and she's setting from the back row. It's
but now
a
Bernie
challenge.
has scooted up, and they're ready for that tip right now. So she needs to try something else, and she will. Callie White will. I think she will.
Maybe she's drawn them in. She gives her
That's
hitters
what I
an
mean.
opportunity to hit to that back row now. There's Nichols. You know, one of the things we see from Dexter is even on balls that look like they're going to be free, they hit the ball back over, and good teams do that. You know, they seldom give the other team an actual real free ball back over. So Avery Riley back to serve for the Dexter Bearcats at 20-9. We always talk about that race to 20, Coach, and Dexter's won that race to 20.
And another bad pass, overpass, and
Yep.
it just is a killer. Their setter can't go up and jump. It's just hard. Dexter needs a side out right now.
So Riley with the serve.
Much better pass. Perfect spot.
Nice spot that time. That was Blair Plowman. That was in system. You know, Misi was set it just perfectly to her, and she was able to find the spot. So Kaylee, there are at least 4 different girls named Kaylee or Callie, and they're all spelled differently. So I'm doing my best to try to say what their names are. But nice little slide there.
Nice back slide, and she hit the line on it.
That was Minley. She's the one I was mentioned earlier that I was impressed with as a freshman last year. She's a solid player.
And a lot of girls on those slides, they will end up going cross court. She pulled
Right.
it back and went line. I
Right
thought
down
that
the
was
line.
very good. Very good.
Very creative too, because you're right, that's not the normal placement. Kennedy with kind of a hook shot there, cross court. Sit outside to Essner, hit it into the net and down for a point for Bernie. So it's 22-11 now. Alexa Dillinger back to serve for the Bernie Mules. This is who kind of got a little run going at the very beginning of the set. We'll see what can happen now.
She has a tough serve.
Good block there.
4.
4 hits. That ball didn't clear the tape, and so Dexter's guilty of hitting the ball 4 times. So it's 22-12 now.
The one thing Dexter does very well, they cover their hitters, and everything that's been blocked has been back up.
Right.
Back row attack.
Hit out of the back row. There's Nichols hitting from the back row. Solid hit and a good kill. There's Henry with the hit off the block of Minley and out of bounds. Nice strong hit that time. She hadn't been swinging. She was tipping the ball a lot earlier, but she took a good solid swing at that one. Hit the tape. And difficult to receive, but Dexter handled it. There's Henry again, off the hands. Picked up nicely in the back row that time. A way to avoid the antenna. That was Nichols. That ball was behind her head, and she was able to curl it around the antenna somehow. But Bernie gets the point. So it's 23-14 now. In this big gymnasium, big event center, we play with several volleyballs because if not, it would take forever to get the balls back into play. So they've got 3 balls in play that they just keep rotating. Henry again, cross court this time. Oh, nice tip that time by Minley, but picked up by Kaylee Mason that time. Set to the outside to Nichols, picked up by Henry. And Henry with the tip back over. Again, back to Nichols, this time down the line and down. So it's set point for the Bearcats, 24-14. And it's Mariana Minley going back to serve for the Bearcats, the sophomore. Lots of movement on that ball and could not be handled by Bernie. So that's set number one. We're going to take a quick break after the Bearcats pull out the win in set number one. We'll be back to recap set number one and look towards set number two. Welcome back to the Bearcat Event Center in Dexter, Missouri. Neil Diamond is singing Sweet Caroline, but I'm surprised the student section is not up singing with him, but they're not.
Well,
I'm very disappointed in the Dexter student section that they're not up singing, but
or
nevertheless. So set number one went to the Dexter Bearcats. Coach, what did you see, and what does Bernie have to do to turn that around?
Bernie's got to get this service receive worked out. They've got to get the pass a lot better, get them off the net. Bernie needs to quit sending Dexter so many free balls. They are good when they hit. They really are. Yep. They've showed that. They had 6 kills this last set. And then in Dexter, they had 9 kills. That's what I have, maybe more or less. But Dexter is doing what Dexter does well, and they've got to just keep that. I think Dexter came out here just a little relaxed, maybe a little flat, and Bernie really came out wanting to put them away.
Right.
So
Callie Mason starts off with the serve for Bernie. So set to the outside to Henry. Picked up nicely by Dexter. Strong swing that time. I guess that was Kennedy for Dexter, and then Henry hit the ball back into the net. So point for Dexter. Dexter draws first blood here in set number 2.
So that was a simple set for her in a down ball, and nothing against her or anything, but it seems to be a common error that a lot of girls have getting that down ball over. And it looks so simple and easy.
Right.
But there is something about it that a lot of girls just have a lot of trouble with it.
And down. So nice hit that time from Henry, and found the spot in the back corner. I think the libero for Avery Riley for Dexter thought that ball was going to be out. Alexa Dillinger serving for, ball was hit straight down that time by Minley.
Net was moving an awful lot.
It was. Maybe the ball tipped the top of the net. That's all I can say.
All I know is we aren't getting hit by balls this high.
No, we're not. We're way up above the action here tonight. Coach Vanzel's referring to last week's game at Clarkton, where we were hit a couple of times by balls hit hard through the defense, because we were on the stage behind the Clarkton team. So nice hit that time from the outside.
Kate Nichols.
They are I think this is probably their best rotation for Dexter. They've got Nichols and Minley and Essner in the front row right now, and that's probably their best 3 hitters. If they can just get the ball to them. And then just on cue, perfect set to the outside to Kate Nichols, and just a nice shot right down the line. You mentioned earlier that they're going to have to cover that, and they haven't.
But they're pulling their middle, and the middle blocker for Bernie has got to play it. She's got to respect number 5,
right,
Minley, and she's also got to respect the outside. So she has to wait.
Well, that's why it's hard right now, because you've got three solid hitters in the front row right now, and it's hard to know which direction to go. Nice pickup, nice cover of the block that time by Callie White. Bailey Henry with the push back over. Set this time to the right side. It was Essner with the hit. There's Henry swinging through that time, picked up nicely. Nichols with the tip, but Bernie doing well. It was Dillinger that time covering the block.
Our longest rally so far. I spoke too soon.
You did. You jinxed her.
I'm sorry, Botch.
Sorry, Carrie Botch. That was
unfortunate. But they needed to do that. They needed to go to a different area because they had hit this outside and there was no kills.
Yep.
So it was smart by their setter.
Karis Kennedy there with another serve, and that wouldn't tip the top of the net. That's 2 in this series of serves that she's had that have tipped the top of the net and gone over. It's like she's practiced that. That one was a little bit too low and stayed in the net. She's just trying to keep that ball really low, skimming the top of the net, and sometimes it gets a little too low.
So we have 26, Kaylee Powell coming in for Bernie. She'll
play
right side.
And Riley Powell is the libero. She's our server.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, that was a nice tip back over that time by Macy Botch in the front row. She just tipped that back over her head, set it back over her head, and found the Dexter Bearcats sleeping a little bit. She found the spot. So Powell back to serve again. Set to the outside to Nichols. Picked up nicely that time by Bernie. Minley this time, and Minley hits it right out of the middle. Quick set in the middle.
She was ready for that one.
She absolutely was. She's a very solid middle. So, I mean,
yes.
she's tall and rangy, got long arms, and she's able to cover. She blocks well, but she's also ready to hit when that ball's set quick to her in the middle.
Nice short
floating serve that time, as opposed to the hard hit balls that she was. I guess that didn't hit anybody. I thought maybe that hit somebody on the Dexter side, but it just hit out. I guess it hit the net and went out.
There was a slight hole in the block that time.
Yep. So Dexter was lucky that time.
So Dexter has done really well covering that tip.
Yep. Here's Kate Nichols again with a hit out from the outside. Minley back to serve for the Dexter Bearcats. Mules are drawing in looking for a short serve, and they got it. But the pass was back over the net, and there's Kate Nichols just waiting for that one, like it was her birthday.
It was. It might be.
All right. Well, Bernie calls her first time out at 11-4, so we'll take 30 seconds, and we'll be back here after we pay some bills.
At First State Bank and Trust, your future matters to us. Whether opening your first checking account or growing savings for the future, we're here to help with innovative tools and personalized service. FSBT offers a range of deposit options to fit your needs. For nearly a century, we've been committed to the financial needs of our local customers. Secure your future with a bank that's been trusted for generations of families in Southeast Missouri. First State Bank and Trust. Your money, your future, your bank. For 90 years. Member FDIC.
We're back here at the Dexter Bearcat Event Center. We are in set number 2. Recap a little bit. We're in set number 2. Dexter pulled out the victory in set number 1 and are leading 11-4 here in set number 2. Dexter appears to just be continuing to do what they did, and that's hit the ball. That's play solid defense. Bernie continues to have a little bit of a struggle with receiving the ball and also with hitting right now, Coach.
I'm sitting here looking at the schedule for this week for Bernie. They are not done. They have 4 games this week.
Wow.
What a tough week.
Tough week.
On top of it, Stoddard County Fair week.
That's right.
We need to go get a corn dog.
That's true. It's a tough week to have a lot of activities going on at school for sure.
And their level of competition this week
Yeah.
is unreal. I mean, they're about to go meet Clarkton, and that could be your District 1. That's going to be deciding who's going to probably be
number one
seed.
That's right. That's a big district game for them. Nice hit that time.
But for Bernie, seeing this level of play versus possibly maybe what Clarkton has seen a little bit this
Right.
week, their level of play is up there. They have a hard schedule.
Absolutely. But that's why that Dig for Life tournament is good for all these small schools to go play, because they get to play some bigger schools and they get to play some that they wouldn't necessarily be able to schedule because they'd have to drive a long ways to play them. And
so whatever coach said is working.
Absolutely. Bernie's on a little bit of a run here. It was 11-4, now it's 11-7. So, coach gets credit for whatever motivation she gave them. Henry's been serving, so that's part of it. Late to get in the block there that time, and it tipped the net, and then she hit it out off the block. So a little late. Middle was a little late getting there. So Claire Essner back to serve for the Bearcats. Good communication that time by the setter, because there was no way she was getting to that ball. And then Nichols off the block, out of bounds. That's off Macy Botch. That she was there for the block, but
just didn't get turned in.
She hits that ball pretty hard. So
She's hitting it. It's either going to go crazy out or it's going to go straight back down.
Right. Tough receive that time. Good serve by Essner again that time. So now it's 14-7. Nice job that time. Kalia Powell with
the kill.
With the kill. Powell out of the middle.
And other things that Bertie may not have been seeing as much is that Dexter is double blocking. They're
Right.
double blocking in the middle. They're doing a few things that possibly that they will not see from some of the other District 1 teams. That was an amazing pickup.
And Dexter's got a couple of really solid middles.
Yes.
I mean, they really do. There's Kate Nichols coming from behind the middle that time and pounding that ball out of the middle. That was a nice little play.
So Bernie
little bit of deception.
Bernie should be thankful that she's in the back row now.
Yes.
If Bertie wants to come back, this is
Now
where
should be their run.
They should run.
That's right. But they've got to receive her serve first.
That's right.
And she gave it to them by hitting it into the net. So they're fortunate. You don't have to receive that one. So
that's uncharacteristic of
it
her
is.
from what I hear.
It is. As a senior especially, she's solid. But she's been working hard all around the court. So nice hit that time by Kennedy. And here comes Minley back into the game. The front row to take over the middle.
So now we have just the height advantage right now for Bernie.
So Avery Riley back to serve for the Dexter Bearcats. Nice push that time. Dillinger, smart play. She saw that back corner was open.
I'm telling you, she is one of the smarter players that I've seen in a while. She just sees it.
Yep. Very nice play that time. So Kelly Mason back to serve.
It's a deep floater. Went back.
As Henry finds the spot through the block that time. The double block was there, but they just didn't get together, and she put it right between them. So Mason back to serve again. Nice movement on that one. Kate Nichols was able to handle it, but certainly nice movement. Henry again, this time picked up off the block. And long, no touch.
So Bernie has gone on a maybe a 4-point run here, three to 4 point run, and they've done it by actually attacking and hitting and making Dexter pass that, and Dexter's not able to get as good of a pass set hit as they're wanting.
Right. Mason with another nice serve. Nichols hitting out of the back row again, and it worked because that ball was passed into the net and could not be picked up that time by Dillinger.
She is going to be their go-to girl, and I don't blame them. I would go to her every time, just about. Front row and back row.
Yep. Henry with the hit that time, and that's one of those where you kind of wish she hadn't gotten her hand on that one.
That's right.
Yeah. I mean, you want players to do their best to get to every ball they can, but Claire Essner tipped that one, and the libero was there to pick it up and just ricocheted away from her. Dillinger that time with the serve into the net. I tell you what, your setter's usually a pretty good server, but boy, they've got to be tired. They're moving and running and involved in every play,
and she's jump serving as well here.
Right. So there's a free one back over.
See what Bernie does. There you go.
Well, your setter took the first hit, so if you can get that to happen, you're usually going to be better off as on defense. So pass set, and Nichols back on the front row, and tip and out. So another kill for her. 19-13 now. Looks like the Bearcats may win the race to 20.
Riley Powell has done a great job back here. She is trying her best to read Nichols right now, and she's doing a great job with it.
And there she was again, and that one was in. Well, that one just zoomed right by her, though.
But the last 4 or 5, she's hit pretty short. So you got to play her. You got to play her honest.
Absolutely. That ball was just hard to handle. She hit that ball really hard. Nice defense that time. Nice block there by Macy Botch and Bailey Henry together on the block. Riley Powell back to serve again for Bernie Mules, down 14-20.
Ball dropped short.
Wow, nice back set that time to Minley, who was on the right side that time instead of the middle, and she pounded that ball nicely down the line.
That happened very fast, especially for high school ball here.
Yep.
That was nice.
That was a perfect set, for sure. And then Minley back to serve now. Set to the right side to Henry, who sets it deep. There's Nichols coming in. Cross court that time, picked up nicely by Henry. Powell with the free ball back over.
Out of system for Dexter.
And a free ball back to Bernie. That set was just way too close. Henry was not expecting that ball to be there, and she couldn't get to it. 22-14. Bearcats with the lead. Minley back to serve again for the Bearcats.
Was it 25-14 first set last time?
Yes. So similar score at this point. Henry with the hit off the block of Elizabeth Bolin that time. Nice block for Bolin out of the middle. That's what I say. They've got two solid middles. Bolin when Minley's in the back row, and then Minley in the front row. They're solid. And a lot of teams, you won't have that. You won't have two solid middles. Teams we see play around here very often, you'll see one that's really solid, and then when she goes to the back row, they lose that double block. And so,
no, I think number 12, Bolin, she takes care of that net great for
she
Dexter.
Does. She's right there ready for that one too, and wins the jump ball. Nice play by Bernie. They didn't give up on it. But there's Kate Nichols coming through again. Well, if they get that set to her on the outside, she's hard to defend.
Yeah, it's going down.
She jumps well. She's not that tall, but she jumps well, and she hits it hard. I mean, she's several inches shorter than Bolin there beside her. Good hit that time.
Yeah. That was by Kaylee Powell.
Yep.
And I feel like they need to use her a little bit more. She has come alive this second set with some really good hits. And
so it's still set point.
That was weird.
It was off the libero, almost a ricochet, but they got it over and regrouped. Good hustle by Bernie, but that's the set. 25-16 this time. So that's set number 2. Dexter now leads 2-0 in this best 3 out of 5. So we'll take a quick break, and we'll be back in about a minute to recap this set and look at what we can expect from set number 3.
The best things in life never change. They just get better, like Hardee's Original Bag. Back and better than ever. Just $6.99. Mix and match any 2 full-size favorites. A juicy charbroiled double cheeseburger, melty hot ham and cheese sandwich, or crispy hand-breaded chicken tender wrap. Any 2 plus fries and a drink, all just $6.99. Hardee's Original Bag, loaded with handcrafted goodness. It's the greatest meal deal for your buck.
And we're back here at the Bearcat Event Center. Upcoming on Aycorp Sports, this is another busy week here at Aycorp Sports. This is our second of 2 rivalry volleyball matchups this week. As we mentioned, on Tuesday night we were in Cape, where Jackson defeated Cape Central in 3 very competitive sets. Tomorrow night, Aycorp Sports will be in Portageville for Friday night football under the lights as the Red Hot Bulldogs take on the Rams from Scott City in a Class 2 District 1 matchup. Next week we'll again have 2 volleyball matches, with a huge Class 1 matchup between Gideon and Advance on Monday night, and then Scott City at Sykeston on Thursday. Friday night we'll be back in Dexter for a huge Class 3 matchup where the Bearcats welcome the Southern Boone Eagles in a clash of top 6 teams in the state of Missouri, so in Class 3. So that'll be an exciting matchup. So here we are back for set number 3. Dexter Bearcats attempting to win it in straight sets. The Bernie Mules trying to stay alive. And a good first rally. And that ball hit long by Kate Nichols. Oh no, that was Claire. That was Claire Essner, I'm sorry.
So Bernie has come back out, and they have hit. And as long as Bernie keeps hitting, Dexter has more trouble.
Got to keep swinging.
And if Bernie wants to win, they're going to have to hit as much as possible and not give any more free balls to Dexter.
Right.
They're going to have to use every one.
Out of system a little bit there and could not get a decent setup. Kennedy with that tip back over. Outside to Henry. Pretty good swing that time. Nice save by... That was Nichols out of the back row that time, saving that ball.
Going middle. Nice dig.
Mentally with a hit, but dig by Powell in the back row. And then a nice hit down for Henry. It was a nice placement that time, but she swung hard at that ball. That was a nice hit.
And these are some long rallies, too.
They are.
They are really some really good rallies.
So Dillinger back to serve again for Bernie. And Essner hit that one into the net.
You could tell that time she was just a little off. She had that little stutter step,
right.
and it threw her off for just a minute.
Bentley out of the middle, but she hit that ball long. There's a nice quick little back set to her, but got on top of it a little bit, sailed it out. So it's 4-0. And down. Nice spot that time. So it. So nice tip back over that time. Set to the outside to Nichols, and that ball did not clear the net, so that's 4 hits. Coach, it looks like Minley's kind of holding her right arm a little bit. I don't know what's happened to her, but we'll kind of keep an eye on that and see if she's still freely swinging.
In a game like this, you can't miss a serve.
Right.
Especially for Bernie. They are up now. They've got the little bit of the momentum, and she's an excellent server, Kylie Powell is.
Mm-hmm.
And she has impressed me here in the back row tonight.
So Minley's serve looked good, so it doesn't look like that was an issue.
Net for Dexter.
So I guess Dexter was in the net. Somebody in the front row.
The pass was
maybe
awful
bowling.
close to the front.
It was.
Awful close to the front row.
One of those jump ball situations, and unfortunately she got a little too close to the net. By too close, I mean.
Now she's saying she was over the net. The down official is.
Okay, so coach is asking what was going on.
Possibly. Or might have hit her. Might have hit a tape.
Well, we couldn't really tell what she told her, but
it stuck.
She didn't seem completely satisfied, but she accepted it. So, because that's kind of what you have to do, because they are the referees. Good hustle by Bernie all the way around that time. The whole team, they were getting in the spots.
Went back and got that, and then.
But then there's Kate Nichols to finish
right.
it off. When things get a little hectic, set the ball to Kate Nichols, and she'll bring things back into perspective.
The second set, Dexter had 14 kills.
Yep.
And I bet Kate Nichols over half of those.
A significant number of those were hers for sure.
And Bernie had 10.
Right. And they did hit the ball better in that second set, for sure. You could tell they were attacking a little more, especially late in that second set. Bernie was. So Misi back in to serve for the Bernie Mules. Nice serve off the libero and down. 8-3, Bernie.
Philip and I talked at break about how high these balls, some of these are going, and girls are now passing them at the height of their arms. Nichols again for a kill.
Yep.
And it works.
It does. It's just different.
It's just different, and it works.
Yep.
Sometimes it works better for others and not, but it's kind of a new thing that we're seeing a little bit more. Wow, she saved that one.
I was going to say, nice save there by Dillinger, making the play. Macy with the bump set that time. To Pleimling with the hit down the line, but picked up nicely.
Hustle. I want to give a shout out
Kennedy
here
that time.
Right now to Dexter's setter. She is making it look effortless, and I know it's not.
Right.
But she is doing her job. And it looks
She's
clean.
Always in position.
Yeah, it looks clean. It goes off nice, and she moves this ball around, and she knows who is hot and who is not.
She does, and that's the interesting thing. She's gone outside, inside, and right side, in the middle. She's finding. You're right. She's finding the right hitter at the right time. Long serve that time.
And when in doubt, she can always go in the back row right now.
Yes, that's right, for sure. Little communication error there.
Yep.
I think maybe Essner didn't think that White was going to be able to get to that ball, and she did, or she could have. So
those of you get confused here, the libero had to come out, and then the other girl had to come in, and
Right.
I know sometimes people get confused about that, but it is happening the correct way.
It looks like they're just running in without having to check in, but they're not. Communication again. So there's 3 of them going together for Dexter, and Bernie has extended their lead now to 5 points, 11-6.
I'm not taking anything from Bernie right now, but Dexter has just let the little things happen, and it's costing them little points. Small
Well,
points.
you know it can happen when you get up 2-0 and
Yeah.
you won both sets by 10 points almost. You can get your focus can wander,
Yes.
and what Coach Orff needs to see from her girls right now is a return to focus. A return to focus.
Nice spot.
Yep. And Avery Riley was, covering, but that ball was just in front of where she could get to.
Bernie's right now is fighting for every point they have, and they're going to get it anyway and celebrate big time.
Absolutely.
Any way we can get it.
That was Mason with the serve.
Nice hard cross court. That is a tough dig.
Sure was, and nicely done.
done.
Nice little back set with a slide by Menley. That time not as effective as the first time because she went cross court into the court. Hit long.
Some hitting errors right now as well from Dexter.
And that was Kennedy that time with the hit from the outside. Mason back to serve again. Serves it long and out. Dexter needed that.
So I want to clarify one thing, Philip. Bernie is District 2, Class 1, District 2.
Yes, Bernie and Clarkton
Bernie
and
and
Gideon.
Clarkton, Gideon.
Right. District 1 is the deep Boot Hill district. So I didn't realize we said what district earlier, but I guess we did.
We did.
Nice serve that time. That ball kind of dropped when it got over the net, and the defense wasn't able to receive it.
And that District 2 of District 1, whatever.
Class 1 District 2.
Class 1, yes, thank you. That's a tough district.
It's a very tough district. I mean, the one thing that's better for the teams that are in it this year is that Bell City went back to District 3, but other than that, it's still a solid district. Last year you had 4 really, really good volleyball teams in that district.
That's right. And I think it's loaded a lot of years, too.
It is.
Especially when you put Bernie. I think Bloomfield is back in that district
That's
now.
correct. Bloomfield came in and Bell City went back to the other district. So, tough receive there by Nichols, but they saved it and got it at least back over. Henry with the hit off the block and off the antenna, out of bounds. I think that straightened the antenna up. I don't think it was straight earlier, and I think that ball may have straightened it up.
I think it woke Mr. Vaughn up there,
so
Scott
too.
Vaughn.
I think so too.
Scott Vaughn is a very seasoned referee right now. He's an official. He's very good at his job.
So Dexter takes their first time out of the night. They're down by 16-10. It's that they haven't been in this position all night long, and so they've taken a bit of a break. I don't know if you've had a chance to listen to our SEMO Sports Zone podcast from Aycorp Sports. We're always trying to innovate, look for new things to bring you interesting ways of looking at high school sports in Southeast Missouri, and we've done that. Andrew Moore and David Jenkins are doing a weekly podcast right now talking a lot about high school football and a little bit about college football because they're big college football fans as well. But you can get those episodes on Spotify, Amazon Music, or on the SEMO Sports Zone YouTube channel. So check it out. They come out every Monday morning at 7. So check those out on Aycorp Sports. That was a serve. Dillinger served that ball, and it was in. Coach had called timeout, hoping to slow the momentum, and
And
Did
the
not get what
referee
she
just
wanted.
blew the, and she was already ready to go. And I mean, she was legal.
Yep.
It was just fast. I think Dexter was not quite just
Didn't
ready
seem
for
to be
it.
ready for sure. And they may have thought it was deeper than it was. I mean, obviously they thought it was deeper than it was, but there's Henry with another hit from the outside. They've set her a lot tonight. She's hit a lot, she's tipped a lot, but she's been set a lot of times. I think that ball might have been out, but good play.
She took it.
She had to. She was too close to not pick it up. Good dig back there by Powell that time. There's Minley off the block and out of bounds.
So Bailey Henry is actually playing strong right now, left side, and blocked her just a little bit off that hand.
Yep. It's a quick out of the middle. A lot of movement on the net again that time.
I'm having a hard time from our angle seeing.
Right. We can't see arms, so it's hard to see. But Nichols didn't hit the net, neither did the ball, and she put that ball down. Tell you what, if Nichols had Minley's height, she would be a force to be reckoned with. She's already a really, really good player.
Yes.
I understand that she's going to be playing next year at Mineral Area College. Is that right, Coach?
That is what social media has told us.
That's right.
No, it has been confirmed. I did talk
good for
to
her.
One of the assistant coaches there, and she is going to be playing, and she told us we could mention it.
Good for her. That's awesome that she's got that opportunity to play and continue her education as well as her volleyball career.
That's right. And Mineral Area is producing some outstanding athletes too.
That go on to play at
Division
I and Division I programs. So Powell with the serve. Nichols that time with the set over the net. She thought she saw the spot, but it wasn't there. She'll hit this time. And Powell was there, but it hit the floor right before she got her hands under it.
So Dexter is doing what Dexter needs to do.
Right.
Setting Nichols. Setter. And she is giving Bernie fits.
And until they're able to block her, I would keep setting her.
I would.
If it was me. Minley with the serve. Nice serve that time. Real short. Surprised Mason that time, and a lot shorter than she thought it was going to be. And it went off her hands and out of bounds.
So Bernie is really scooted up extremely close.
Let's see if she hits one hard and deep. Nope, it's short again. They're right where they need to be, it looks like.
Yes.
And there's Henry again, this time coming from the right side. I'm not sure she doesn't hit better coming from the right side than she does from the left side. But it's also a different angle for, that's just
That's right.
They weren't expecting it, I don't think, so.
And we have Keely Powell. I've been pronouncing her name wrong. Keely Powell, she is on right side now. Let's see if they can use her. Nice hit, though.
There's Bowling again in the middle that time with the block. Sit outside. There's
Net call.
into the net.
So Dexter has made some very uncharacteristic mistakes that we
Unforced
didn't
errors.
see. That we didn't see the first two sets.
Right.
I mean, they were so clean those first two sets, and that's why the score showed it. And now it's just gotten a little bit sloppy. Let's see what we can do.
Well, we've asked, coaches asked them to, regain their focus, I think. And there's another bad serve receive out of bounds. So it's now 21-15. Another timeout. Coaches Orf's going to take her second timeout. And we'll take a timeout with them. We'll be back here in 30 seconds. And we're back here in the Dexter Bearcat Event Center. Let's reset things. It's set number 3. Dexter won the first 2 sets fairly handily, fairly easily, but this third set has been all Bernie Mules. It's 21-15 right now. Bernie has the serve, and they are serving ahead 21-15. Coach, this is kind of a different game.
It is. Bernie has actually made some adjustments, it looks like. They have calmed this ball down. They're not just doing anything crazy.
Good pickup there, Henry, with covering the floor nicely.
Keeping the ball alive and keeping it more difficult for...
What a smart play there.
That was.
Because that was, where she was at, that was hard to tell if that ball was going to be in or out.
I think it just went through her hands. I don't know.
She pulled down. And
she pulled, yes.
So she definitely felt like it was going to be out, and it was. Nice back set. There's Powell. You're looking for her to hit the ball.
Just a drop.
23-15 now.
Lots of energy right now on this Bernie side.
Absolutely.
They are so excited.
The JV was able to pull out the 2-1 victory over Dexter in the first game, and so they're hoping to be able to come back and pull out the 3-2 victory here in game number 2. Oh, there's Bolin with a big solo block right in the middle there. Again, the middles for Dexter have impressed me tremendously.
Macy Botch has such a height disadvantage for her. I mean, she is, to me, she's doing really well.
There's Powell with a strong hit out of the middle for Bernie.
She jumps so well, 24 for Bernie. She does jump well. She's doing the best she can up there against that tall. It's just a fight.
So it's 24-16 now, set point for the Bernie Mules. And Dexter just looks a little out of sorts right now. Nice spot. Keely Powell with the tip over and off hands and out of bounds. What a great place to place that ball. So that brings us to the end of set number 3. We'll be back in about a minute to recap set number 3, and we're going to go to set number 4. So not straight sets tonight. We get extra volleyball. So we'll be back in about a minute.
Young Real Estate, we understand the importance of face-to-face interactions. Our experienced agents are here to listen to your needs and personalize your home buying or selling experience. But we also recognize the power of technology. Young Real Estate offers virtual showings, allowing you to explore properties from the comfort of your own home. Young Real Estate, where technology meets a personal touch. Your dreams, our expertise. Contact us today and let's make your dream home a reality.
At SEMO Health Network, we strive to provide caring and affordable health care while making our patients feel welcome in our warm and friendly atmosphere. With locations throughout Southeast Missouri, we provide medical, dental, OB, and behavioral health services to anyone and everyone that may need it. Visit SEMO Health Network for your wellness exams, COVID and flu vaccinations, lab services, dental exams, counseling, and more. For more information, visit our website and let SEMO Health Network take care of you.
And we're back here at the Bearcat Event Center in Dexter, Missouri. It's now 2-1. Dexter won the first 2 sets pretty handily, but then Bernie came back and won set number 3 the same way that Dexter won set number 2, so by the same score. So,
and neither team used all their time the whole 3 minutes.
Right.
They were back out here within a minute 45, 2 minutes left.
Maybe they're motivated, ready to go. We'll see which team comes out with the focus that they need this set. That slide needs to be a little bit lower set. She didn't in that particular one. She had to kind of wait for it, and her timing was off.
It was pushed way out.
Yeah. Good pass that time, and there's nice tip. So it's Dexter that's a little bit out of system and out of sorts to start off, but they got the point.
They got the kill.
So it's now 1-1. Kelly White back to serve for the Bearcats. Nice short serve. Boy, I tell you what, Dexter serves the ball short. They work that front half of the court for sure on their serves. At least they have tonight. So White back to serve again. Dillinger with the hit that time, but blocked by Minley. She's solid up front. Little bump back over. Set to the back row that time for Kate Nichols. She finds the spot in the back row of the Bernie defense for a point. Another kill for her. And long, served long that time. We just talked about them keeping the ball short, and then she tried to go for the back part. She thought they'd drawn the Bernie defense in, and she might be able to get one over their heads, but it was too long. So Dillinger back to serve now. This is usually their best rotation for scoring, or at least it was in the first couple sets, so we'll see how they do now. Out. So good idea by Minley. Hit that ball cross court, but it was just a little too strong. Dillinger back to serve again. Saved that time by White, the setter. Out.
I thought there was a touch on that ball.
No one called the touch.
No one.
The down referee did not. She actually shook her head. No, I didn't see a touch. So Bernie certainly felt like there was. There was a touch on that one and came right back to them. Back set.
So back there serving right now for Dexter is Karis Kennedy, and I watched her here. You know, she's kind of been overlooked, I'll be honest with you, because she has to compete with, Bolin, all them, and the big middles and the hitters and everything for Dexter. But she has really done a great job. She just hit two here this last time. Kept them a challenge for Dexter.
Yep.
And for her height especially, she's playing right side.
Yep. She's a solid player
she's
for
solid,
sure.
And now she's playing back row for them.
All right.
What a nice job she's doing.
Esther and Kennedy, I think, they're both juniors, and I think they've played a lot of volleyball together. You know, you can kind of see that from them. That was tough. White could not pick that ball up out. I mean, she thought it was going to come out of the net, but it ended up tipping the net, and she couldn't get to it. So 6-5, Bearcats with the lead, but Bernie on a little bit of a run. Powell with the serve. It was a strong swing that time by Minley from the right side. And now she'll be back to serve.
That does seem to be a go-to spot for Dexter when she's on the right-hand side, and I would use it there all the time.
Yep, I agree. She's very effective over there. Good pass. There's Henry. And look who's back on the front row.
And doing her job.
Doing what she does. Kate Nichols.
Bernie needs to get his side out, calm things down a little bit.
They do. Dexter's on a little bit of a run now, too. So it's 8-5 now. Bearcats with the lead. Minley with the serve. There's Henry with the hit again. Picked up nicely. Set to Nichols. Off hands, but picked up by Powell.
Wow.
Good defense. Good hustle by the Mules. Off the block. No block up that time. I mean, the block could not get up for that ball. She was so quick. Nichols is so quick off the floor.
That was impressive.
Yep.
I was impressed by that.
Like I said earlier, if things get chaotic, just set it to Kate Nichols and she'll stop everything, which is what she just did. She's It's fun to watch because she's, like I said, she's not that tall, but she's quick off the court.
And she jumps so well.
Jumps really well.
That short serve.
They've done it all night. I mean, Bernie's ready for it, but they just keep setting it a little shorter and a little shorter. All right, well, Bernie's going to take a timeout. We'll take a timeout with them. We'll be back here in 30 seconds.
Senator Jason Bean is proud to represent Southeast Missouri and the Boot Heel in the Missouri Senate. High school football is a positive avenue for our student athletes to build character, compete, and grow. Senator Jason Bean wishes all our student athletes and coaches a successful season.
Mathis Funeral Home of Dexter and Bernie strives to provide their community with the accommodations and services needed to relieve your family during times of loss. For more information, give them a call and see how Mathis Funeral Home can help meet your expectations in celebrating your loved ones.
Welcome back to the Bearcat Event Center here on the campus of Dexter High School. Dexter's leading 10-5. Bernie called the timeout, try to settle things down. We'll see if Coach could stop the momentum with that timeout. Minley got the serve in. A lot of times you'll see a player miss that serve. Good block that time. Powell and Botch that time on the front row. It's free ball back over. Now Bailey Henry with the hit, and Dexter could not handle that time defensively, so ball's out on them, and that's another point for the Mules, and they get the serve back. Goes 10-6. Bailey Henry back to serve for the Bernie Mules. Picked up nicely by Riley. Tough pass, though, tough receive, and off hands and out of bounds off of Bernie. So they gave the serve right back to Dexter.
A lot of balls I've seen tonight that are a lot on the net, and having to adjust and deal with balls being passed too close.
Yeah, the setters are really having to struggle with that because it's a challenge. Nice play there by Kennedy. That takes a lot of volleyball to be able to make that play, because most girls are going to hit that ball either short or into the net from back there, and she just knew exactly where she was on the court and put it over, but wasn't enough for the point. Bernie got the point.
And Dillinger right then, she had a beautiful back set. She had a beautiful jump back set right to Powell.
Nichols off the block and down.
Nichols hits so hard, it's going to either go through the block, it's
going to ricochet somewhere.
Ricochet. Yeah, and you can tell they have practiced that in practice to cover that.
Yeah, their libero is covering everything she can from behind, but there's Nichols again, hitting out of the back row now. And pretty deep out of the back row. I mean, she wasn't right up on the line either. She was hitting from the three-point line.
And there's a kill.
But there's Bowling
yeah.
in the middle again. Yep. So Nichols with the serve again.
Short
serve. They've been effective, though, because the passes have not been nice. Nice block by Bernie. Do you think, Coach, that if she hadn't tipped that ball, it would have gone out of bounds?
Possibly.
Because it was going right down the net, and I don't know that it was going to, well, we never know.
Never know. 50-50.
I think she wasn't really sure what had happened. Good try there by Macy, but ball dropped in front of her.
And another thing I want to talk about, Dillinger right now. Dillinger is up here in the front row for Bernie, and she's playing middle.
Yep.
She jumps well, too, and she's having to fight against some tall girls on the other side.
Right.
And they're playing very smart. Bernie is playing a lot smart.
Nice tip that time.
Nice tip.
Right into the right spot. Again, it's not always how hard you hit it. Sometimes it's where you place it. And that one was placed very nicely. So Kylie Mason back in to serve for the Bernie Mules. So that was executed a little better.
Yes.
Little slide behind was executed much better that time.
Henry was late on the block, or
she was a little late getting
just
there.
Turned.
There's Minley again with the big block in the middle. You know, there's two of them going up to block, but she's really the dominant force when they go up to block like that.
She is.
And no touch that time. It was close, but she hit it right down the line, or right across the court, and tried to cut it in, and she hit it just too wide.
This looks like the Dexter team we saw the first couple 2 sets.
Sure does. So a little inability to get where they needed to be that time. The setter couldn't get to it, and so coach is going to call her second timeout here in set number 4. We'll stay here this time and see what kind of talk about where we're at and what we've got. You know, it's 18-9. I mean, it's kind of desperation time for the Bernie Mules, isn't it, Coach?
It sure is.
Their backs are against the wall.
It sure is. I'm just still. They have got to keep Dexter on their toes. They got to keep swinging. And I don't know if they're tired or not. Slowing the pace. They've slowed the pace down just a little bit. We're seeing it even from both teams. Both teams have definitely slowed the pace down than what we saw the first 2 sets. But Dexter is hot right now. With Minley on the front row, and you have Minley and Essner on the front row, and don't forget number 10, number Kennedy.
Right.
She is covering her spot well. And
another nice serve.
Another nice serve.
So White with a nice serve. I tell you, the
as far as Bernie is scooted up there, I don't know.
How do you get a ball in front of them?
How do you? I'm questioning. I'm sorry, Coach.
There's another one. I mean, they're having to lean forward to get to those balls, and they're not getting them. It's just, I guess that maybe those balls are dropping, and we can't really see that well from where we're at.
I think it's a lot of it too.
But another nice point by Dexter. They won the race to 20, so it's 20-9 this time. You know, when we asked the question when we came back for set number 4, who would take advantage of, you know, the refocus and have the momentum, and it at this point it clearly has been the Dexter Bearcats.
What a good hustle for both teams right now.
It was Essner that time with the hit from the outside. Short, quick set to the middle, and couldn't get it over. That was 4 hits. That set was a little bit short, I think. She was wanting a quick set, but I think it was a little short. And real close to the net.
Real close.
I think the pass was pretty close to the net, too, so I think it was kind of a struggle for both of them. There's Kennedy with the hit back over. Again, they're still taking swings, even on balls that look like they're going to be free balls. That time she set that one over. Nice back set to Henry. Nice spot. Absolutely, you're right, Coach. That was right in the right location back there.
I want to reintegrate that Bernie has not fallen off the map here. I mean, They have literally tried.
They played hard.
They're playing hard.
Absolutely.
They just had some things not go their way.
Well, and I think, you know, what you mentioned was Dexter's playing like they played in the first 2 sets. I think Dexter, I just think they're a little bit better, more talented team. They're a little bit taller.
Yes.
They just, you know, when the 2 teams played their best, Dexter's just a little bit better.
Right.
And they did let down in that 3rd set, which happens even to the best of teams.
It does.
And Bernie took advantage of it. You got to give them credit. They're a very solid Class 1 school. I mean, there's no doubt about it.
That's right.
They're going to be a force to be reckoned with as the season progresses. Coach May learned that coming off of the that was out.
That was out.
Coming off of the Dig for Life tournament, you might not want 4 games the next week.
I'm thinking that too.
because they, they can't help but be tired.
Yes, it's either going to go one way or the other for them.
Yeah, they can't help but be tired.
Yeah.
This is a long week, and then playing Clarkton, their district rival, at the end of a really long series of games. I mean, how many games have they played since last Friday?
Oh.
Another point for Dexter, 23-12 now.
So since last Friday, they have played 9 games.
Yeah, that's a lot of games to play. I mean,
games.
some of those are are 2 sets because they play pool play in that tournament, but still, you got to get up for the game and you got to play, and that's a lot. Plus, they were out of town, probably stayed up there for the weekend, and it's just a challenge to be able to play that many games. So you got to give them credit. I mean, they're still playing hard, even though this is match point. It's 24-12, so it's match point for the Bearcats with Menley back to serve. Picked up by Henry. Set back out to Henry on the right side. And now Henry on the outside from the left. She actually hit that one left-handed. Good pickup.
Oh, net at the last
into the
point.
net. Oh, that's too bad. That's unfortunate, but that's the way the game ends. It's 25-12. The Dexter Bearcats win set number 3. So, or set number 4. Bernie didn't give up. 4 years ago, that this match would have been over in 2 sets, Coach. Back when we high school girls played 2 out of 3. But tonight, Bernie got that extra opportunity, and they pulled out the win in set number 3. But we're not able to stick with it and win set number 4.
So it's discouraging for Bernie right now. Bernie has lost all 3 games this week now, but they're going to be going into playing Clarkton with having played Cape Central, Scott City, who is a very strong team this year, and just losing to Dexter in 4, and it's I feel for them because you can get down.
Yep.
But they need to come out tomorrow. I wish them the best of luck.
Yep.
Because I think these games right here probably have just made them better.
Absolutely. The thing is, if they didn't have Clarkton tomorrow, I would say this has been a productive week.
Yes.
They took a set from both Scott City and Dexter, teams that are solid, that are really good volleyball teams. And they took a set from each of them. But now they've got to go up against a district rival, and it's a tough way to do it. Now Clarkton's played several games this week too, and they played in that Dig for Life tournament last weekend, so they may be in a similar place as far as the number of games they played over the last 7 days. But either way, this is when you got to gut it out, because when the end of the season rolls around and you start playing district, you're playing 3 or 4 games in a week, and you know what? You got to be ready to play.
And Bernie I think it will come for him. I really do.
Yeah. Well, I thought they looked good, but Dexter was impressive. They had that one letdown in set number 3, and you could just see that they were just playing differently. Their focus wasn't there. But you pointed out that in set number 4 they looked like the team we saw in sets 1 and 2. They're a really good volleyball team. I mean, they've shown that. They defeated Cape Central. They defeated Saxony Lutheran, which is a really good team. They beat Advance earlier in the season. So this Dexter team, this may be their year to win the Stoddard County tournament. I mean, this is Stoddard County Association tournament. They've got a lot of talent and a lot of good opportunity to win.
I could see them competing at the SEMO conference tournament. I see that is on their schedule. So
I agree.
I mean, they could.
Right now the only team that's now the conference that's beaten them is Jackson, and I would think that the only other team that might give them a challenge would be Notre Dame, and I think they can this year. I think they can play with Notre Dame.
To me, this is one of Dexter's better teams that I've seen in a while. And I'm really impressed with them. Impressed with them and their coaching staff. They do an awesome job.
All right, so we'll be back together next week. We've got a couple of volleyball matches. We've got Gideon at Advance, which ought to be very interesting. Of the last 5 years, one of those two teams has been in the Class 1 state championship match all 5 years. So, I mean, 4 of them have been advance, or 5 of them have been advance, and one's been Gideon. So I guess it's 6 years. But we're excited to see those two teams play. It's always fun to go up to advance. That atmosphere is always fun, and it's good to see Coach Hoffman and her girls play. So we're excited about that opportunity. So we'll see you back here next week. Stay with us. Come, watch us tomorrow evening as we go to Portageville for the Portageville-Scott City district matchup. So on behalf of all of Aycorp Sports, we thank you for joining us, and we'll see you next time.